So look, since I'm from Virginia, this is our first time speaking.
VA balling in VA. You heard
You know,
Jay Z's line and shit,
you
right?
feel me?
Dribbles out. What do you say?
Used to
Dribble out.
dribble down in VA.
Yeah, he
For
said
shizzle, my.
Shizzle for my nizzle used to dribble down in VA. That's what Hov said.
Oh
Shout out to
God.
Jay Z.
Nah, for sure. So, since this is our first time talking, tell us exactly where you're from.
Well, I'm from Chicago, Illinois, East Side, 79 Drill City, Lawn City. That's where I'm from. Uh, shit. I'm a long lost descendant of a slave, and we laborers, man. That's where we from. But no, I'm from Chicago,
hmm
and that's where we from. Everybody's pretty much from Chicago, and we embrace the city, third biggest city in America, and we love this, man.
Most definitely. So, since drill is big, since it's been big since 2012, we got to see inside what Chicago is really like. But on your perspective, what was it growing up like? What was it like growing up on the east side of Chicago?
Man, well, I put it to you like this, man. And I'm not gonna, and I'm a fucking historian.
hmm
I'm a fucking historian. And the reality is that my side of town is a very interesting side of town because if you look at in 1890 and you look at these books in the World Columbian Expo and all that, the World's Fair in 1890 was on the east side of Chicago. The Cubs players lived on the east side of Chicago. Uh, that you gotta understand what Chicago is beyond some rap nigga shit.
hmm
You gotta understand the Chicago River was the first reversed body of water in the world. So people wanted to live here. You know what I'm saying? Chicago's a very interesting place. Third biggest city in America. You're on the Great Lakes. As black people, you gotta understand we weren't allowed here. We
hmm
weren't. The place I live at was predominantly Jewish. We weren't allowed there, and through the efforts of civil rights leaders and a bunch of other people who put in the work, we reside in these places, and sadly, we fucked them up. We
Mm.
fucked the East Side up. South Side, the Hundreds. Chicago is no different than L.A., no different than New York. Compton was all white at one point. In New York, Harlem was all white at one point. As a people, we migrate. We move. We do what we do. And to get to your question, for me, I came at a time. I was born '92, so that means in 2002 I was 10. Means in 2022, 2012 I was 20. I've seen a lot of people come and go, and the East Side story is bigger in the cornucopia of what Chicago is. We gotta understand that side of town is hosting the Obama Library. I watched the rise of Barack Obama. I watched the rise of a lot of people, man, and Derrick Rose.
Mm.
Chicago's a very interesting place, being in the middle of the country, and you know, it was a lot of interesting things. We could go more in depth, but the East Side didn't have anything specifically particular to it. It's just funny. You have the headquarters of the Nation of Islam in one place, and then you got Operation Push 50 blocks down or something like that, and it's just a culturally complex place, man.
Mm.
Like I could go to you know one place and see like one of the most unique shorelines in the whole Western Hemisphere, and I could go 10 minutes later and go see somebody get fucking shot in the face. It's like this unique unique space, man. But we'll get into that. But it's a history to it. I'm a historian. We have 50 years of records and documents and oral history and oral tradition and fucking hip hop and crack cocaine and fucking black power and real estate and redlining that we could talk about in this thing. So it's a big thing with the east side of Chicago,
Most
which
definitely.
is really stony to the lakefront. It's not, and then you got to include Northwest Indiana as well, because that's right there. So
Okay. So you're just talking about specifically the east side.
Yeah, I mean, but we're holistic people. You know
Okay,
what I'm
okay.
saying? The west side is important, the east side, the south side, obviously. Yeah, the low end, all that. This is us as black people.